Well, this just in, the Clinton Foundation has announced this week they're going to stop taking donations from foreign governments and from corporations in the event that Hillary Clinton gets elected. Also, the Clinton Global Initiative is going to shut down entirely in November, regardless of the election's outcome. In any event, they say they're going to wind down one last gathering in September, the former president told his staff. Now, an article coming out rather under the wire, and I want to point out that this is prompted by Trump's tweets regarding the Clinton Foundation, how corrupt that she is, crooked Hillary, and her donation policy if it's elected. Now, Clinton's Family Foundation, they said that they're no longer going to accept foreign and corporate donations. And that's a big deal because the bulk of their money comes from places like Saudi Arabia, Oman, Kuwait, places with an atrocious human rights record when it comes to women and gays. And upwards, I was looking into this today, upwards of $25 million the Saudis gave to Hillary Clinton, their foundation. She's saying, by the way, that her hands are clean. It was just given to her foundation, not to her specifically, all while she was acting as Secretary of State from these autocratic Persian Gulf states and their leaders, potentially undermining her candidacy and her claims that she could carry out independent Middle East policies as Secretary of State, even though she was taking money on the side from them. That remains to be seen how she's going to justify that. Anybody else doing this, by the way, would be in jail right now, but because it's Hillary Clinton, we have to give her a free pass. Now, these Persian Gulf sheikhs, one article suggests that they gave Bill and Hillary upwards of $100 million. There's a video attached. This Daily Caller article, it came out in May, and we're tying it with this now because of this announcement that they released on Thursday, that they're going to stop taking money from these states. And these donations, they coincide with her employment as Secretary of State. We know that she used it as her personal hedge fund. These regimes, no question, were buying access. That's what's on the table. You've got the Kuwaitis, Oman, Qatar, the UAE, massive conflicts of interest nobody seems to be pointing out. Now, Clinton greeted the announcement of the end of her Global Initiative Fund as no admission of wrongdoing. She's saying that her hands are clean in the event. Remember, they released their tax returns not too long ago. And to justify that amount of money coming from foreign states, well, my hat's off to her. Let me put it that way, that the woman is not in jail right now. Now, the foundation has been the source of headaches for the couple for years, but the fact that Bill Clinton is saying that they're going to go ahead and wind this down now because of all the speculation that's been pointed to the foundation and its donors, it's truly an act of suspicion. And here at InfoWars, we like pointing out suspicious activity, if you haven't noticed. And the fact that this foundation, we've covered her ad nauseum here, the fact that it says it's winding down, that is a blaring red flag. Now, going to the AP article for just a moment that highlighted this rather innocuously. Now, Hillary Clinton maintains that she stepped down from the initiative's board after launching her 2016 campaign. Her husband, Bill, and of course her daughter, Chelsea, remained in leadership roles on the initiative, prompting questions about the ability of the organization to continue its work should she become president of the United States. Now, this article, it's written highly favorably towards Clinton. And it's very bothersome to me because looking at the specifics of this case, this woman has been taking money from foreign corrupt governments for years, governments that have a track record of violently abusing women, gays, throwing them off buildings, in fact. And yet this woman maintains because she's female, she belongs in the White House. This is some sort of historic moment, as though Jill Stein and other women don't exist who've actually run for the presidency. Regardless of that, Clinton is saying nothing to see here, even though her relationship with these dictatorships continues. My question is, what kind of favors did she swap while as Secretary of State, maintaining this policy, this innocuous policy of having, a fair and balanced take on engagements with countries like the UAE, with the Saudis, with Kuwait, with Qatar, with Bahrain, all of which have donated to her? What kind of relationship could she have maintained while taking their money? I'm Margaret Howell reporting for Infowars.com.
Thousands of years ago, there was a basic form of chivalry. Our ancestors would hear the drums of war, giving the warriors of the tribe a chance to organize and prepare a defense. 60 years ago, when foreign air forces were approaching filled with bombs, they had drums of their own, air raid sirens. But in the 21st century, there are silent weapons for quiet war. Pathogens added to the food and water, and to the lining of plastics that destroy our vitality, turn off our hormones, and accelerate our journey towards death. I personally counter this onslaught with Anthroplex. Anthroplex is designed with known organic concentrated herbs to create the basic foundation to normal metabolic activity inside the human body. Discover why Anthroplex is turning so many heads today. It's time for us to take our bodies back into our own hands, and it starts at InfoWarsLife.com with Anthroplex.